doesn't want their food to last longer and stay fresher? Well, that's where oxygen absorbers come in really, really handy. There's a lot to know about how to use oxygen absorbers and some things to be aware of. So this bag was actually sent to me from the company Wallaby to do a video for you to give you a close-up look so that you can make an informed purchase decision, know exactly what it is that you're getting. So first off, what's really nice is they come in packs of 10. The reason why that is so important is because once these are exposed to air and oxygen, it starts absorbing that oxygen and it starts doing what they're intended to do. But if you're not going to use them, then they're eventually going to be not very effective when it comes time to put them and seal them away in your container, jar, or Mylar bag. So you want to keep them vacuum sealed as much as possible and only open them right before you're going to use them. If you do open it and you have a few left over, then you can just store it in a small mason jar. If you can vacuum seal it, that's even better. But if not, just try and get a small mason jar to put them in, so it has as little oxygen in there already, so it's not going to use up all of its oxygen absorbing power. Another thing to note about these is these are 300 cc. Different oxygen absorbers, depending on the size and how much of whatever it is that they actually put in here to make this absorb oxygen. Remember, it's not absorbing all the oxygen. There's always going to be some left in there, but the point is to remove as much moisture as you can, because moisture can cause foods to age quicker. So 300 cc's is what each of these single packets are. But if you're using, like, say, you know, a 2-gallon bag versus a quart-sized bag, Mylar bag, or a very large jar, glass jar, versus a very small glass jar, the quantity of these are going to vary depending on the size of the product you're putting it in. So you want to make sure to follow the instructions on the Mylar bags when you receive them, because they will tell you what to put inside, how much you need to put inside. So that's what we've done in the past. Sometimes we store large bags of food, and sometimes we've stored just really small bags. So in terms of the types of food that you can store, you can do oatmeal, you can do beans, dried beans, you can do freeze-dried foods, you can even do herbs and spices. So for example, if you have a jar, say this size, and you have it filled up halfway with some beans or some dried spices, you might want to take one of these and just throw it in. It helps keep it fresh longer. So one thing that's really cool is it actually comes with a card that will tell you different types of food and that you can use this with, and the life expectancy of that food, how long it'll actually keep it fresh. It also tells you instructions on how they recommend to use this. So I recommend following best practices and follow what they say. So another thing is this bag is actually Mylar itself. So these are going to stay fresh even in here, even though they are vacuum sealed, and it has a zipper. Really recommend you just keep all of them in here and keep in a dark, cool place. Another thing that's really helpful to know is if you do keep them in a mason jar for later, because say you opened and you only need a few, you may be wondering, say 3 months down the road, 5 months down the road, you're going to use it, are they still effective? The way that you can figure out if a oxygen absorber is actually still effective is you want to squeeze it. If you squeeze it and it is soft, you know that it's still good. But if it's really hard, you might want to give it a toss because it's been used up. So remember, oxygen absorbers are really, really helpful, but you do want to follow how much you're going to need for the size of container that you're using. I like the Wallaby line of products, and I really like their oxygen absorbers as well. So let me know, what are your tips for keeping food fresher longer? Do you use oxygen absorbers? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe for more tips regarding your home, hobbies, and health.